Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Closing Comments here on April 30th. Let's take a look at our charts and see how we closed out this wild month of April. First up, we got our June live cattle. Today we finally saw some downside after 13 straight days of this market grinding higher. We did get an early morning push up to a new all-time high, just getting it by a tick, printing that new high at 211 even. However, late in the day, we did see price start to break down and take out that prior day low, which opened the door to flush this thing down to 208. Just a typical pullback after reaching this overextended territory. Nothing major. Still got a nice uptrend intact. Would expect to see this balance area here that we saw last Thursday and Friday start to support price into tomorrow. We did see a little bit of support step in late in the day over about the last 30 minutes to an hour, holding price right at this 208, 208.40 area. If we take a look at our lower time frame chart, we do see a nice equal distribution of volume here throughout this first 3 days of this week. We did see price get down and touch our point of control from last week. This nice high volume node is going to be an area that the bulls will be looking to defend going forward, and we did see a nice balancing act here at the end of the day, showing support in this 208 to 208 half area. With this equal distribution of volume, I'd expect to see this market push back across this range that we've traded already this week. Would expect to see the bulls try and support this thing and push back into these range highs for the current week. However, if the bears are able to push this market down through this Thursday and Friday demand zone and get to offers below this 207 mark, I'd expect to see more of a pullback and selling step in and push this market down to this 20-day moving average here at around 204.50. But we do expect to see the bulls put up a fight here at the moment, so we'll just have to wait and see how they react tomorrow. But the uptrend remains intact. We expect to see them try and pick this thing up and push it higher going into the end of the week. However, if we get below 207, be ready just for a brief pullback and wait for the next buying opportunity as this market goes back into these moving averages and we try and find support. Next up, we got our August feeders. A little bit of a pullback here today. No new all-time highs, but prices just kind of hanging out right around this week's range. Still holding price above our bull pivot here at 294.55, which is a good sign. Still got that nice uptrend intact here at the moment. Just seeing prices get a little bit extended. If we start to see some follow through below today's low, would expect to see prices start to sniff out this 20-day average here as well and look for support. However, this uptrend remains strong, so be ready for those bulls to try and pick this thing back up and push us back towards that $3 mark before the end of the week. So we'll just have to wait and see how that battle plays out tomorrow. Back to our corn market. Saw a little bit of upside today. Price just pushing back towards this bear pivot and getting rejected. We are seeing prices just hanging out here, going back and forth across these moving averages. This is the type of action you see from a market with a lot of indecision, not really committing to a side here at the moment. We've seen good swings down and up over the last few weeks and months here. Would expect to see, as we're trading around and chopping around these moving averages, just to see continued rangy action here with prices just kind of chopping sideways. Going to need to see more confirmation and follow through one way or the other before we can really get comfortable choosing a direction in this market. So would expect to see this thing just continue chopping and not offer a whole lot of great directional opportunity. So just be prepared for continued range trade here in this corn market. Next up, we got crude oil. More downside today for the oil market. It's 3 days in a row here of selling activity, going from just about $64 down to $58 today. Nice push by the bears after balancing out for a little over a week, right around our 20-day moving average. Finally got that break down below 62 to get the ball rolling lower. Bears are in control. Nice downtrend still intact. I'd be looking for the bears to start pushing back down towards this prior low down here near 55 and potentially lower beyond that as this uptrend remains intact. Be looking for those bears to continue pushing going into the rest of the week. Equity markets continue to show promising signs for the bulls. Nice rally today. We did see an early morning breakdown and a gap lower. following some news released this morning. Employment change and GDP numbers were released before the open today, which got the market to kind of sell off into the opening range. However, the bulls were able to pick it up and support price above this 20-day moving average. So that's a big win for the bulls as we've gotten above that and we found support below it. Did get that close above the 50-day moving average, and are going to be looking to crack this 200-day moving average going into tomorrow. Lots of key levels to be watching and resistance areas here. We do have a lot of left-hand overhead supply that could cause a little bit of resistance here over the next few days, but the bulls are picking up the pieces and looking to show promising signs of a potential new uptrend coming from here. We did have earnings today and tomorrow on 4 of our Meg 7 stocks, so that definitely will add to the volatility, and non-farm employment numbers out on Friday as well. That's going to be a big one that the market's going to be watching going into the rest of the week. We did see the Nasdaq also closing above the 50-day average and showing good signs with support from above on that 20-day moving average. We are right here, right around our 20-day or our 200-day average, as well as this tariff day high at right around 20,000. If the Nasdaq is able to chew through this area, we could see it open the door to 20,750. This is going to be these prior lows that we saw before the big breakdown earlier this year. We would like to see the bulls continue to push up into this area, this prior swing high, as well as those swing lows dating back to the beginning of the year. So Nasdaq continues to be the strongest. The Dow is lagging a little bit behind. We are above the 20-day moving average. We haven't cleared this prior swing high, and also still below the 50-day moving average. The old man index is lagging a little bit here, but definitely showing signs of recovery here as well, and should be led higher by a lot of the tech components in this market at the moment. So good potential for the bulls, as we could see a nice recovery here and open the door to a nice uptrend here throughout the rest of quarter 2. So that's all we got for tonight. Thanks for listening. Have a good evening.